the use of internet is becoming predominantly high. When you are using your phone, you share your WhatsApp messages, you text with your friends and family members. The WhatsApp though is end-to-end protection.
I feel it's something new within our Gambian settings.
I developed actually this passion for cybersecurity back in 2015.
Sometimes we hear advice that says, follow your passion.
Passion is a strong admiration or love towards something. You know, in life they said sometimes, take what is available. If you don't have what you want, take what is available.
What does education mean to you?
If I talk about education, sometimes I become so emotional. Because considering from where I come from, I'm the fortunate person, the first person to even attend to a university education from my family.
Going through your biography, cybersecurity appears a lot. And of course, I'm wondering, from a layman perspective, what is that?
Oh, cybersecurity. If you look at this modern world, the use of internet is becoming predominantly high. Most people are connected to the internet, but how do we actually secure those information that we are sharing on the internet? Our computers, our workplace, our system are all connected to the internet. Our daily work is all on the internet. How do we secure those information that we are sharing on the internet? So cybersecurity comes to protect those ones. It's the process of saving the information that we are sharing on the internet. In the layman perspective, this is how cybersecurity is. When you are using your phone, you share your WhatsApp messages, you text with your friends and family members. The WhatsApp though is end-to-end protection. The conversations are well secured. With the help of cybersecurity, they are able to do that with cryptography. So cybersecurity is the process of securing our information that we share on the internet. In the layman perspective.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
Now you're saying that, and I'm like, wow, looks like he's really passionate about. Let's do it. Tell us about, how did that develop? Was that something you, because I feel it's something new within our Gambian settings.
Not new per se. As you said, maybe sensitization is lacking, but cybersecurity has been in existence since the internet started to come in existence. Obviously, there is cyber. So internet create this cyberspace. You understand? So I developed actually this passion for cybersecurity back in 2015 because it was never my dream to become a cybersecurity expert, but here I am today. I am. I remember in 2015 when I was away for studies in India, I went to study network integration and support. During that time, I developed a lot of passion when it comes to computer security, network security. This has developed into making me to develop so much passion for cybersecurity. It all started back in 2015. When I came back to the Gambia in 2015, towards the end of 2015, then I was a teacher. You were my student at that time, actually. So after a few months, I changed my profession. I became a banker. So I went into the banking. I was not actually doing cybersecurity per se, but the love was there. So I was doing more of digital banking support, protecting the online banking stuff for the bank. So actually, I thought I really have to, do something about my passion. So that's where it comes into my mind. When I was going for my master's, I decided to do it in information security. This is where it all started. So when I came back to the Gambia after acquiring my master's degree, I went back to Guarantee Trust Bank as head of digital banking support. After 2-3 months, they appointed me as the head of information security group in Gambian setup. So I was leading that until I joined the Gambia government to become the principal cybersecurity for the government of the Gambia.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
It's quite a lot of experience. Well, you've mentioned passion. Of course, we've talked about that.
Yes.
But somebody might be wondering, what is your understanding of that?
No, when I say, to me, my understanding of passion is the strong admiration or strong love towards something. That's where passion originated from. Currently, I am doing cybersecurity job for my country. I have a strong admiration for the job, for what I'm doing for the people, because whatever I'm doing is having an impact on the Gambian people. That passion, that strong love, that's where admiration came in and passion supersede all that. So I'm so passionate of helping or doing my quota for my country.
Okay, beautiful. Now I am eager to know, because from the looks of it, the passion of cybersecurity only developed now, because you mentioned you were a teacher. Of course, you were my teacher. You taught me, and you went into banking. Growing up, what were you passionate about? What is it that you wanted to do that you
Well,
felt you had to do?
that's a very important question. Growing up as a kid, I always dream of becoming a pilot because I was so fascinated when I see aeroplanes flying on top. I'm wondering what is responsible of this. So I came to know these are people who are flying these flights. They are called a pilot. So I ever have strong admiration for being a pilot. But one reason or the other, after completing my high school, it couldn't materialize. Understand? So I had to my family had to convince me to go and study medicine. But it's not something I'm so passionate about or something I love so much. I went until I took the form of University of the Gambia, fill in to become a medical doctor. On the day of my interview to start my medical school, I had to change. I couldn't do it because to me, this is not what I'm best at. I'm more of a technical guy than, being into a classroom of going through a training of 7 years and graduating as a medical doctor. I didn't see myself in that area. So I shift. Since I cannot be in the field I love to be, which is pilot, from the advice of people, they said you could study computer science and mathematics. You can blend these two. It's a very good combination or a starting point. You're still too young. After completing your first degree, you never know opportunities can come, then go and study pilot. I acceded to those advice. I took them into good hand. I went in and studied computer science and mathematics, actually specialized in mathematics and minor computer science. So upon graduation, sometimes man proposes, God disposes. Still now, probably I was not advised very well the way I should. Still I didn't have the opportunity to go into the area where I can chase my dream. I end up becoming a teacher. So this is how it started. That was back in 2011. So I was in the teaching field from 2011 to 2015. Then I make a paradigm shift in my profession to banking.
Now I will draw you back to Ibrahim Asawane. We had Ibrahim Asawane here, who is now working at Dubai, right? He made a very interesting remark when it comes to passion. Of course, his passion equally, he taught, he became a teacher as well. But you realize that he did not dwell so much on his passion from his narration.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you have certain people that will tell you, because this is my passion, it's either this or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at his perspective, yes, he has a passion, but he went and studied something else. Mm-hmm. And today, that something else is what he is doing. But his passion, he also still is pursuing that, which is the teaching and helping, giving back to the society.
Sure.
So what would you therefore advise? Because oftentimes we hear advice that say, follow your passion. But should one actually dwell on that? Of course, you've mentioned that wasn't your passion. Someone advised you, you took that path, but you still felt that wasn't your passion. What would you advise?
Probably I will go a little bit different way, as he explained. To me, he has a career dream of becoming something. He was so passionate about that thing, but he was not in it. So that is kind of hallucination. You want to become something, but you are not there, even though you are passionate about it. You are not there. But now you are in this. If you don't develop the passion for it, it will become very difficult for you to be successful in what you're doing. Understand? As I said, passion is a strong admiration or love towards something. If those elements are lacking, success will not follow you in what you're doing. Understand? I took an example of Siracho today. You want to become a journalist, or you are practicing to be a journalist. If the passion is not there, that is your driving force. Trust me, you can never become a good journalist. You don't want to become a journalist for the sake of being a journalist. You have to have the love, the admiration, and then be passionate about what you're doing. So that is it. Ibrahim has a career dream of becoming something which he was passionate about, but he was not in it. But now what he is doing, He should be passionate so that he can realize success. In life, they said sometimes take what is available. If you don't have what you want, take what is available.
To get to what you want.
Exactly.
That's a very good
Yes.
point. What does education mean to you?
Education to me means a lot. If I talk about education, sometimes I become so emotional because considering from where I come from, I'm the fortunate person, the first person to even attend to a university education from my family.
Aww.
In another way, it's a plus, but in another way, it's not because I'm the last born of my parents. I have 5 or 7 elders ahead of us. They are not fortunate to have that opportunity. Hadn't been they had the opportunity, I would have, gotten a better advice or a better career where I am today. But it is what it is. So I'm fortunate. I'm the only one who attended to the university education. Thank God, up to the master's degree, aspiring to have my PhD very soon. So many young people now coming up, my nephews and nieces, are looking up to me as a role model. This means a lot because not only in my family setup, in the society, many people are looking onto me, not because where I come from, but because what I've achieved within this short period. I'm a young guy currently, I'm proud of what I've achieved and what I've done for my country. It's all because of education. So it meant a lot to me.
Therefore, would you say Lamin without education would not have been who he is today? Where would you have seen yourself if it had not been for education?
Well, this is a very difficult question to ask because it's imperative because I'm currently lucky to be educated. I've not tested the other aspect of life. So many people are there who are not educated, but they are very successful. They can sit back and say, I have achieved a lot in my life, even though they have not gone through a formal education, as we call it. I can take a good example of Mohammed Jah Oil. Probably has not gone through the formal education. We call it a conventional education, but today he's one of the most successful person in the country. So I will not give a negative verdict of people who are not educated, but they have achieved something. And there are people who are well educated, but still now probably they could have done better in the society. So probably I'm fortunate enough. I had the education, and also thank God I'm able to achieve something, contribute my little quota to the development of the nation, which I'm proud of. So it is key. Well, cybersecurity is evolving very fast daily. There are so many emerging technologies, example, machine learning, artificial intelligence. These are emerging technologies that are growing and changing the landscape of technology drastically. So they are coming with a new threat, new trending threats, which are giving cyber criminals leeway to, bank into our personal data, they try to impersonate or cause all such personal damage, reputational damage on people. So these trends are increasing daily in our life. So in 10 years, I expect cybersecurity threats to grow exponentially, not even linearly, exponentially, because machine learning and artificial intelligence has having so much impact on the cyberspace. Okay, for promoting digital literacy, if you look at in the Gambian curriculum, we are having so much loopholes. Most of these curriculums are developed decades ago. They are never kind of updated as the trend of technology is increasing daily. We have to align our curriculum with the emerging technologies that are coming up. So the most effective way to me to elaborate on digital literacy in Gambia is to at least inculcate most of these emerging technologies in our curriculum. That is starting from the grassroots level. Let's say minimum junior secondary school upwards. They need to start learning about digital literacy, basic IT skills, basic technology, emerging technologies. Let them have an idea of what is actually happening in the digital world. That will help. And also training and educational and vocational training opportunities have to be there for our people. We have institutions in the Gambia like Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Ministry of Higher Education, now Ministry of Digital and Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. These are all institutions that are geared towards helping Gambians in promoting education. We should work hand in glove to help Gambians to realize the real world. So, basic education can help us in curriculum development. Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy can help provide material for digital literacy to those institutions to be able to inculcate them in our curriculum. This can be one of the most effective ways to groom youngsters coming up to know more about digital.
I hope you in your ministry are trying everything possible to make sure that just materialize.
Yeah, if you look at our ministry, we are a baby ministry. We are just 3 years old, but we have strategies in place that will help digital transformation. Just last week, we just validated a digital transformation strategy for 2026 for the Gambia at Sunset Beach Hotel. So this is a big milestone, or it's going to be a big milestone for the Gambia in terms of digital transformation.
Beautiful.
And there are so many provisions in that strategy for digital literacy, specifically for digital literacy, digital inclusion, female inclusion in digital transformation.
Well, we surely need female inclusion. It's important.
Exactly. To avoid the digital divide, we need female inclusion. In tech world, probably I want to go with Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, now the owner of Instagram and other. I'm so passionate about that guy simply because you asked me at the beginning of the interview about what I've achieved in education. Where will I be? Hadn't been, I was not educated. But if you look at Mark Zuckerberg's biography, he's not even a college graduate.
Oh.
But at the time he was going to college, he was able to discover Facebook, work on it. Here it is. It's one of the most used social media platforms. He's one of the richest guy in the world, man. So what he has achieved is a lot. And if you come to cybersecurity, I'm so fascinated about this guy, a Russian cybersecurity expert called Eugen Pakovsky. He is the CEO of Pakovsky Lab. He's a very passionate guy. He loves what he does. He's one of the most experienced cybersecurity experts in the world. He helped Russians in developing their cybersecurity infrastructure. He's so powerful. I would love to have dinner with one of those guys to pass some of their experience to me. Well, when it comes to goal settings, I see Gambia first because I was working in the private sector, in the banking. I moved into government. You can see there must be a huge difference in terms of financial implication because private sectors pay better than government. But I have a passion and a goal. I want to have impact on the life of people directly. So I believe that I was not having that at the private sector. So coming into the government, every single decision I make is going to have an impact of every single Gambian. So in 5 years, I want to make more strategic decisions that can help improve Gambia, to make a Gambia a techie world, to be considered as one of the best countries in terms of technology.
And this you would do through involving the young ones. You've mentioned trying to incorporate some of these digital literacy in schools. Yes. Is that so?
So this is all part of the digital literacy, digital transformation strategy. Digital literacy is a key component of that transformation. So, and that is going to have a very big impact on the lives of the people. And currently, see, most people graduated from high school. You even give them a computer, they will not even have a basic knowledge of how to operate a computer. You see people graduating from university, they don't even have an idea of how to conduct a proper research using computer. So where are we in terms of technology? So those issues have to be addressed. They cannot be addressed when they are 50 years old. They have to be addressed when they are young, coming up. Watching football. I love my TV a lot. I love my TV a lot. I do sports. I try to go hang out with friends. These are some of the things I do in my leisure time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm so fascinated about football. I think the most successful one, the one I'm most passionate about, is the cybercrime bill that is about to be enacted as a law in the Gambia. Just on last week, Tuesday to Wednesday, we had this retreat with the National Assembly members to educate them about the cybercrime bill that is currently in the National Assembly, which they are about to have a session on, so that it can be passed and become a legislative in the country. I'm so much passionate. I'm so much happy to be part of the team who developed that, a law for the country to perpetrate those cyber criminals, to bring them to justice. If that law is passed and it becomes a legislative in the country, I will be so happy. It's going to be one of the greatest milestones in my career.
Can you give us example of those cyber criminals you talk about? Because from a layman's perspective, I meant like, what is that? Cyber criminals? How do they operate? There
are so many. They operate on internet. These are people who will operate from one side of the world, try to, lure you into a criminal activity or try to perpetrate your system, stealing your information for reputational damage, for financial gain purpose, or whatever. I can just give you a simple definition, simple scenario of what I've witnessed, for instance. There was a day whilst I was working at Guarantee Trust Bank, then I was as a head of information security. There was this gentleman who walked into my office with a stress face. He was so devastated at that time because he was paid his salary, and all of a sudden, he went to the bank to withdraw. There was no money in his account.
What?
Yes. He's a policeman. So he was so devastated. He's a family man. He walked into the bank and laid those complaints. So when we did our investigation, we realized that he was having a mobile app and did a mobile app transfer.
Oh my goodness.
But he said he never have a mobile app. He have never registered on mobile app. But when we did our investigation, we realized that he did register on a mobile app. But he said it was not him. It was our responsibility to investigate further. So after doing the investigation, we realized that the mobile app was registered on his account with an iPhone. He was not having an iPhone. He was just having a simple Techno.
Okay.
So then we engage him. Somebody impersonate him. Somebody sitting from somewhere pretending to be someone else who is not that person. Someone sitting in America, was an American number, texting him on WhatsApp, like pretending to be a white lady. I'm going to help you, send money for you, this and this. So, engage the guy on WhatsApp. They were exchanging chats. So the guy, that lady, proclaimed lady, said, "Can you kindly send me your account number? Because I want to send you money." The guy willingly do that because he thought it's a real lady. Send account number, send me your telephone number, send the telephone number, compromise all his personal details to the person. To cut the long story short, so the lady now have access to the account number, the telephone number, and tell the person, okay, then you will receive a secret code. When you receive it, you send it to me, you share it. The confidence is there. So when the person registered and the secret code was sent, the person also shared those secret code to the person. Now the person have the full control of his mobile application, now registered legal.
Oh dear.
So the person, when they register, then make a transfer from Guaranteed Trust Bank to EcoBank. So when the salary was in, that person transferred to the EcoBank. So then now the person's salary was paid and he cannot have access. There was no money. So I got to know this information because I engaged him through talk. Then he was able to tell me all this. I took his phone, did some forensics tests, and so those conversations existed. So this is a cyber criminal job.
Okay.
This is what they call impersonation. So the person did it for financial gain. So this is what the cyber criminal. So what that cyber crime bill will do, when it is passed at National Assembly, it becomes a law in the country. After doing all the investigation, evidence gathering, and we have a tangible evidence to prosecute that person who did that, will have to come and be prosecuted. And the minimum sentence for the person, depending on the damage is caused, is 10 years imprisonment.
But how do you get to that person now? A person who's not in Gambia?
Perfect. This is a very good question. In cybersecurity, one of the key components or elements is international collaboration. So we have international collaboration, intelligence sharing, and the like. So we have those partnerships with sister countries. Intelligence sharing, our Interpol and the Interpol of United States or any other country will have that intelligence sharing. So as far as there is a cyber threat that is existing in another country, in which we have an extradition treaty signed in between those two countries that will enable us to be able to extradite that perpetrator to come to the country. And so we normally have mutual legal agreement between two countries. So depending on which countries are involved, what type of agreement they have. You know, me, when it comes to, I don't know whether I understand your question, but if you are talking about career counseling, whether if I had to give advice to people, what career path they need to take. You know, this is a very tough question because everybody
It's different.
have different mode of operandi, they have different way of thinking, have different likes. So you have to know the type of person you are advising. If you are mentoring somebody, you have to know their strengths and their weaknesses. Based on that, you can be able to advise them. For instance, my interaction with you, I know that you are very good in talking. So I can advise you, you know, to take a journalism as a career or a lawyer, or these are people who are so passionate about talking because they are so convincing. You understand? So if you know the strength of somebody in something, you can be able to better advise the person. But you cannot come and impose on people. You have to be this, even though their strength is not in that. So you have to know them as a person, what they are good at, what you think they can do better. So those are very key elements, important elements in advising people when it comes to career.
Any final thought?
Well, I have so many final thoughts, but as a nation, Gambia, I think when people talk about national development, they thought it's the responsibility of government. This is an idea every Gambian has to stop. When it is national development, it's the collective responsibility of everybody. No government can do it alone. Trust me, bring the best person you think is the best leader in the world to come to the Gambia with some of the lackadaisical attitude some of our youths are having. If we don't change, we can never move forward as a nation. Believe me, we are saying Gambia is very difficult, it's tough. Man, go out there. If you go out there, you have to work to get something. So why not if you're in your country, you work to be able to get something? I'm not discouraging Gambian youth from going back way or going to Europe to go and find a greener pasture. But make sure you try to develop yourself and become a skilled person so that when even you travel out there, you know, you can be able to use your skill to be able to get something for yourself. Most of the times, Gambians are very kind of picky when it comes to job. We are seeing so many, I will not use foreigners, but so many aliens, people who are residing in the Gambia or non-Gambians residing in the Gambia. They are setting up these cleaning companies, pallet companies or whatever. They are employing Gambians to do it. Why not Gambians with initiative to be venturing in some of those things? But because they feel somebody have to tap their back to push them to be able to start something, we don't want to innovate. We just want to be relaxed and be pushed by people to do so. We have to stop that kind of attitude. If we do that, you know, we are going to develop as a nation. We are just 2 million people.
That was quite a bulky, interesting, resonating conversation, Emma. It has been a pleasure that we have you here on Generation Next. Obviously, as my mentor, as my teacher, as my, how would I say it? I don't have a word.
A friend.
As a friend as well. I'm sure any young person who's watching is inspired. Thank you so much, Emel. On behalf of the entire Generation Next team, we say thank you for your input to developing the future generation of this country to be better.
You're most welcome. It was a pleasure having this conversation with you. Hope to have you another time.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yes.